Shut up. That's what I said. I said it. Shut up.
Hey, beef with me, I shoot the block, don't die, we spin again. See a 10 and shoot my shot like bitch, I'm tryna win. Shoot to the stove for the drink, you and all your friends. Taking shots after shots, I'm tryna get it in. Yo, beef with me, I shoot the block, don't die, we spin again. See a 10 and shoot my shot like bitch, I'm tryna win. Shoot to the stove for the drink, you and all your friends. Taking shots after shots, I'm trying to get it in. Back in the day, I wasn't getting them hoes, they was ignoring the play. Even if I was headed to their destination, they wasn't going my way. Shooting my shot, they wasn't going for that. I promise they going today. I put that dick on them, fuck them and lick on them now, I swear they just don't know what to say. I swear the mama a freak, been ass over and beat cheeks. I don't know everything, but if that hoe go to testing me, I got a cheat sheet. Stay going hard, no weak me. Bust on the face, ski. We taking shots, then we repeat. She say it's on with Patron. I know that goose get her loose. I tell her come in and take off her shoes, and then I go knock in the boots. Me and you in the coupe, tryna slide, what it do? All of my screws are tight than a bitch, but hers, I'm knocking them loose. I'm so faded and fucked up, I can't stand on my feet. Still me and you in the jacuzzi, what I wanna see. Leave the crib at 4 a.m. and don't come home to 3. Don't fuck with no wannabes. Trip on me and you gon' see. You beef with me, I shoot the block, don't die, we spin again. See a 10 and shoot my shot like bitch, I'm tryna win. Shoot to the stove for the drink, you and all your friends. Taking shots after shots, I'm tryna get it in. Yo.
Yo, so I had ended the show and I had started recording the show that this is gonna be on. I recorded that before I actually got on Twitter and saw Kendrick Perkins' response to Draymond. So I'm recording this extra piece and I'm gonna throw it into the end of the show. But yo, I saw Kendrick Perkins getting real fake mad on Twitter about Draymond calling him a coon. And I'm glad I stopped and checked that shit out, because let's talk about that for a quick second. My mans, Kendrick. Now listen, I understand being mad when somebody call you a coon. That's a very tough accusation. That's a very tough accusation to have somebody, or something tough to have somebody call you as a black man. But I find it real crazy that black dudes go on TV and do and say coon type shit and then get mad when that happens. Rob Parker getting mad when somebody call his ass a coon when he is a coon. I don't believe Stephen A. Smith is a coon, but he do show coon behavior at times. But I do not think Stephen A. is a coon. What's that fat fuck's name? Jason Whitlock's coon head ass. So I understand motherfuckers getting mad at it, but I also find it funny when dudes get mad who actually are coons. Now I wouldn't say that Kendrick Perkins is a coon. I can't really think of nothing Kendrick Perkins done said that make me think he a coon. I think Dray probably was just, Dray really just don't like this motherfucker, to be honest. So I understood that. And I saw it as disrespectful. But looking at Kendrick Perkins get hype about that, that's crazy to me. Because, bruh, you the same dude. Because I don't understand how Kendrick Perkins can get pissed off about Draymond calling him a coon. Because if people on Twitter Draymond was disrespectful. I don't know how you can think that's disrespectful about Draymond when Kendrick Perkins legitimately called that man's wife a gold digger a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago. How is him being called a coon any more disrespectful than him alluding to Draymond Green's wife as a gold digger? Because y'all motherfuckers might not have seen it, but I saw the interview where he was addressing Draymond Green earlier a couple weeks ago. And I saw where he was like, I had my wife before the money. You had yours after the money. I saw that shit. Where he basically was alluding to Draymond Green's wife as a gold digger. Or basically saying his wife was only with him for the money. So, how is that not disrespectful? Where is the outrage in that? See, I don't like motherfuckers who can dish it out but can't take it. I have a very big problem with that. You see, Draymond Green, for all he dish out, I ain't never seen that man threaten to fight nobody or go all up in arms and go crazy on somebody because they had a response or had something wild to say. Nah, he always address them in a response if he feel like they deserve a response. But you see, this is exactly what I was talking about in the show. This motherfucker Kendrick Perkins can dish it out, but the motherfucker can't take it. And that's just so funny to me. This motherfucker, we know you won't fight. We know you won't bust a grape in the fruit. Bruh, the man literally said he don't go on the court looking to fight. The man make too much money to be going out there trying to fight. You would think that your goofy ass make too much money to still be a grown man going out there talking about some fight. Like, what is wrong with you, bruh? I just want to say, bruh, see, this is why I think some of these dudes are far better men than me. Because it's not going to be another grown man across town talking. And I wish... I ain't even gonna get there. Listen, one of the things Dray was talking about in that Byron Maxwell thing that I didn't talk, or Cedric Maxwell shit, was like, bro, don't be walking around basically talking about punching me in the face. Like, that shit hella unnecessary. If you're not gonna punch me in the face, bro, you shouldn't be going around saying shit like that. I feel that, like, dead ass. If you're not trying to, throw them things the first thing you see me, that's what you're doing, then bro, why is you walking around trying to up your status, like trying to make people feel like you a tough dude by talking like that all the time? Like, cause I know motherfuckers who fight. They don't do all that talking. And I do know, now I just want to say I do know motherfuckers who can fight, who do a lot of talking also. So good fighters ain't exclusive to not talking a lot. I know a motherfucker who will whoop your ass and talk your head off the whole ass whooping. I'm gonna tell you a story real fast. I got an Obi. Well, I used to have a homie. He wasn't a fighter, didn't talk like he could fight or nothing like that. But he did get into a fight one day. And he lost the fight. And it was so funny because I was like, I remember asking him when we was on the way home, I was like, yo, why did you just get into that fight if you couldn't fight? Motherfucker was like, because, man, you just can't let people push you to a certain point, man. He said after a certain point, you just got to fight a motherfucker to let him know that you'll fight him. And I was like, shit, respect. Because he did get his ass whooped. But NBA players talking about fighting, that's just goofy. But yeah, I had to make this because I'm just confused. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. How the fuck are you mad that he called you a coon and you basically took a shot at him and his wife? How was that not disrespectful? Like, I hate it when two motherfuckers getting off on disrespecting each other and then one motherfucker like, oh, wait a minute now, you done took it too far. Like, wait a minute now, motherfucker. You can take a shot at my wife, but now I call you a coon and you pissed off. You real mad now. Man, stop it. And on top of that, like I said, man, ESPN and these networks, bro, they making big bread off of watching these two black men go at each other. And they really the catalyst for this because they the ones who let these motherfuckers get on TV and say wild shit. And I understand they can't control freedom of speech and all that type of shit, but it's like I said, it's not controlling no freedom of speech when you address somebody when they just get on TV saying a bunch of wild shit. Especially when what Kendrick Perkins is paid to do is not to be biased. Now, if he want to be biased and he just admit that he gonna be biased with every single one of his takes, completely different story. But he getting on TV approaching this shit from as if he not being biased and trying to get people to believe the bullshit that he's selling them. And that's just wild to me. But I had to make this little extra excerpt or whatever you want to call this because I was like, damn, I'm just seeing this as I'm done wrapping up the show and shit and editing the shit to put the show together. I'm like, damn, I just see this. I gotta speak on this. Because I just thought it was wild. Like, I immediately, as soon as I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. Bruh, you literally disrespected that man's wife a couple weeks ago. It ain't no fucking way that you think that what he just called you is any worse than what you alluded to calling his wife a couple weeks ago. Like, it's no fucking way that this has got you this heated but he didn't make no response when you basically said that bullshit about him and his wife. Like, come on, bro. Like, don't play that game. Like, I hate that shit. Like, yo, these dudes on TV not as real as they keep telling y'all they is, bro. Dead ass, bro. Like, for one, I don't know too many motherfuckers who is actually... I'm not even gonna get into that. But listen, all I'm saying is these dudes that's on TV and shit, man, these dudes ain't as real as they got y'all believing, man. This dude Kendrick Perkins is a joke, bro. I know people gonna be like, oh, you biased, you like Draymond. Yeah, you right, I am biased. At least I'm telling you that. But not in this situation. I'm giving you this situation exactly how I feel in this situation. Like I said, Draymond Green was being disrespectful for calling the man a coon. I told you, I don't see no coon activity. Or at least off the top of my head, I can't remember any type of coon activity from Kendrick Perkins. Now, maybe he have had some coon activity and I'm just not thinking of it right now. But that, my biggest problems, every time I address a problem that I done had, or I think Kendrick dealing with pertaining to Kendrick Perkins, I don't think I done ever said anything about him saying no coon type shit or having coon behavior. You know what I'm saying? And if he did, I definitely would remember it. So like I said, I just thought that was just Draymond digging a nail deeper because he don't like the motherfucker. And they clearly got a personal beef going on. And like I said, Draymond was being disrespectful, but to see Kendrick Perkins' response is what was wild to me because, listen, when I was a younger, when I wore younger man's clothes, bro, shout out Billy Joe. Listen, I get the beefs and shit. Now, beefing with people is tiring when you actually do have to fight. Like, I grew up in a thing where when we was beefing, we actually had to fight each other as soon as we, and that shit is tiring. Like, I know some motherfuckers who grew up with that type shit where we always had to fight the motherfuckers we was beefing with all the time. I'm trying to tell you right now, bro, they would tell you that shit got really old after a certain point, bro. Like, very fucking old after a certain point. You would think when you get to college, you would get that shit out of your system because you're not finna be walking around in college fighting motherfuckers and not getting thrown out. And you wouldn't think motherfuckers would go to college to waste that type of money just to fight. But I guess that shit does happen. But I just know motherfuckers who, when they told you they had beef with you, they was fighting you on sight. And so that shit became so tiresome. I'm looking at this motherfucker. And so I know how the beef shit go. But even as that type of motherfucker, I would have never heard a motherfucker say nothing crazy about me and get all up in arms if I know I'm throwing disrespectful shots back at him. I'm just going to find another disrespectful shot to throw right back at him. That's legit what I thought Kendrick Perkins was going to do anyways. Just find a new way to disrespect Draymond Green like he had been doing. But no, this man got all up in arms and fake mad about it. And that's just crazy to me because I'm like, wait a minute, bro. You legit just disrespected that man's wife a couple weeks ago, bro. That's no different than this man calling you. I mean, if anything, is worse. Because I don't see why you brought that man. That man called you ugly, and for some reason you thought that meant you had to bring that man's wife into the picture. That man didn't say nothing about your wife, your kid, no nothing. But you felt the need to bring that man's wife into the picture. And you don't feel like that's no disrespectful than what he just said to you? Come on, man. These dudes are a joke, man. This dude is a joke, man. Like, come on, bro. Come on. I hate that shit, bro. You're not about to be disrespectful to me and then try to get all offended when I send that disrespect back your way, bro. Like, come on, man. Stop it, man. That shit's insane. Like, matter of fact, this is about to start the show. This shit gonna be what's opening the show. This ain't the excerpt at the end of the show. I'm putting this bitch in to start the show. So, yeah, before the show even start, this is what we gonna get into. And then we gonna get into the show. Because that shit was just wild to me, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I understand if everything you had said to this point was professional and things like that, and Draymond said that. Completely different situation. You legitimately disrespected that man's wife a couple weeks ago, and the reason it popped up into my head so vividly is because I remember at the moment when it happened, I was like, why in the fuck would you bring in that man's wife in this to be disrespectful like that? That was legit my first thought, and because I'm not at the point where I done fully matured into the man that I need to be and want to be, I instantly thought to myself, bro, I would have whooped your ass if I had heard that interview, bro. I legit would have called your phone up and been like, bro, when the next time me and you gonna cross paths? Because I'm about to whoop your ass for, actually, you know what? That's just off of that based off of that hate, it feel like Dray and them got, that would have been my tight reaction. Because I'm like, what the fuck you bringing my wife into this for, you hoe ass motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? So, But if it's a situation where I'm calling you all type of disrespectful shit, now I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, it was disrespectful. Draymond calling him ugly and shit like that, I guess. I don't know if that warranted. No, I don't know. It didn't warrant him Kendrick Perkins bringing that man's wife in it. But like I said, at the end of the day, bro, you're not finna be getting all aggressive with Draymond talking about some fucking you mad and fighting all this goofy shit. Oh, he can't fight and you won't bust a grape. Bro, don't be slandering hoes. Don't use hoes bars, bro, for your goofiness, bro. Don't be trying. It always be the goofiest motherfuckers trying to use hoes, bro. I don't know. You wouldn't bust a grape in a fucking fruit fight, my guy. The fuck, man, these dudes getting them, bro. I don't understand what these motherfuckers don't get. Bro, you make too much money. I understand Will Smith pulled that bullshit and these motherfuckers in Hollywood got y'all motherfuckers thinking that they above the law and shit like this. But at a certain point, you would think you make too much money to still be saying certain stupid shit. And it'd be so crazy to me that Kendrick Perkins can't never really rebuttal none of the shit Draymond say. Like, I remember when he was like, Draymond was like, bro, you can't make none of the passes I can make. And instead of Kendrick Perkins rebuttaling that, he just chose to go the disrespectful route. And like I said, if that's what they're going to do, be disrespecting each other, cool. But, bro, don't try to jump off the porch, bro, when you feel like, oh, his disrespect done reached a new level, bro. Like, come on, man. That coon comment ain't got it. It ain't no different than you disrespecting that man and his wife, or his wife, bro. Like, stop it, bro. Like, come on, man. That goofball behavior, bro. I'm telling you, man, these motherfuckers on TV, bro. These dudes are, these motherfuckers are not real, bro. But enjoy the fucking show, man. Enjoy this show. Let's get it. I don't do no ultimatums. I done grew into my vision. Do you know how goofy a bar that is? Like, goofy in a good way. Goofy in a good way. Matter of fact, let me use a different word. Do you know how, bro, it's goofy in a good way, man. I'm not changing the word, bro. It's goofy. It's a goofy level bar. That entire freestyle, the whole super general freestyle is just absolutely goofy, bro. Like, what a fucking track. Like, y'all have to understand when I'm talking about goofy in a good way, goofy in a bad way. Like, come on, man. Come on. Rock with me. If I could stand in front of a mic like that and just spit like that, just go stupid like that, by God, I'd be on a different level. Just standing in front of the mic, just going stupid, going dumb. I saw somebody post under that Kevin Gates Super General video on YouTube. Somebody posted that it was like, by far Kevin Gates' best lyrical track, or something around that nature. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, you clearly don't listen to Kevin Gates, bro. You just listen to his mainstream shit. Because while I won't debate that is a very, like, it was a great lyrical track, that is not his best lyrical track. You don't listen to Kevin Gates, trust me. That man got a lot of lyrical tracks out there. Damn near all his tracks. Some of his hardest tracks is lyrical. This was weird. Like, about 4 years ago, probably 3-4 years ago, especially in the Durham area, anytime, like, I'm heavy on the Kevin Gates and Hove, right? So I already know it's a lot of youngins who don't listen to Hove. They say a lot of goofy shit because they ain't never sat down and really listened to Hove. They say, I even seen dudes say you can't ride to Hove. Like, dudes are goofy, bro. I used to ride around with the 444 album playing all the time in my truck, bro. Like, all the time. I don't understand people who have this, just because other people don't think, they say they can't do it, I'ma just not do it either. I'ma say I can't do it. Like, what? Like, that amazing type of buffoonery, but it's a track on 444 with Marley. Which one is it? I think it's Damon Marley. That shit, oh my goodness. I used to have that shit blowing every fucking time I hopped in the truck, yo. But the other person I had blowing all the time, well, it was two, J. Cole. And people also say you can't ride around a J. Cole, bro. Like, dudes is weird, but it'd be Kevin Gates. And every time somebody was like, oh yeah, I like Kevin Gates, I'd be like, oh, what's your favorite track by Kevin Gates? And I'm not even like a motherfucker who like, oh, what's your favorite track? To prove like you like him. It's just a natural, because I'm a huge Kevin Gates fan, and I listen to a whole bunch of different tracks by him. So I just was basically gauging, like, what's your favorite track by Kevin Gates? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see, like, maybe they got a track I ain't never heard of by him that might... Bro, 9 out of the 10 motherfuckers favorite song by Kevin Gates is usually like 2 Phones. And I'm like, what? Excuse me. How? Like, how? What? Now, this is what's weird. I go to Winston, and I meet a whole bunch of people in Winston who like Kevin Gates. What's your favorite song? All type of answers. None of them is a mainstream Kevin Gates song. I'm talking about motherfuckers giving me all type of answers. And I'm like, okay, these motherfuckers actually listen to Kevin Gates. So it's just weird that when you go to like Chapel Hill, Durham, now maybe it done change a little bit, but I live down there, so, you know. And then I go to Winston, where I done lived in Winston, and they some Kevin Gates. They truly like Kevin Gates down there. Like, they know multiple Kevin Gates songs. They ain't finna tell you, oh, my favorite song is 2 Phones. What? Bro, 2 Phones ain't even in Kevin Gates' top 20 songs. Like, if you tell me that 2 Phones is one of your favorite songs by Kevin Gates, bro, the album that song is on, that's probably the worst song on the whole album. And the whole album is fire. I think that's the Isla album. That's like the worst song on the album, bro. I'm going to tell you a funny quick little story. Well, it's not really a funny story, but the dude who was installing my cameras, his name Tay. That's the new song that you heard in that last video. It's called Shots. It's by him. He was installing my camera. I'm telling you, bro, I'm just a people person. Me and this man became real cool off of just him installing my camera and us having a conversation. But he had, when he was over here installing my cameras at my crib, we was having a conversation. Mind you, that song is fire. That song is fucking fire. But we was over, anyways. Get distracted. I don't know why I do this. Just, these random distractions. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna tell the Tay story, because it wasn't even like a funny story. It was just a quick one. But you know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. I saw a lot of shit to talk about tonight. Big Golden State Warriors show tonight. I saw somebody say it was Golden State Warriors week. Bro, it's Golden State Warriors months. Like, bro, I'm selling. Draymond told y'all, you better not let them fucking win. And they fucking did it. So, as a Golden State Warrior fan, a Steph Curry fan, yeah. Look at Curry, man. So inspirational, bro. I know that man Flight just going nuts about this. And I just found out who Flight was like this. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, I don't know who. But I'm like a under a rock type of motherfucker. Like, it's not that I'm like, because I find Flight funny. I think Flight's a funny guy. I think he's a great streamer. He's hilarious. Great content. Great entertainer. I think a dude like Flight should be on higher. Like, I think he should be getting the type of, attention that, it's so funny. I didn't think I was going to have this type of conversation, but it's funny talking about a dude like Flight, right? So I look at some of Flight. I just found out who Flight was last year. And I already knew who streamers like Ninja, Tim the Tap Man, Nick Merckx, Courage, JD, PewDiePie. I don't look at all those dudes, especially no damn PewDiePie, but I have seen all those dudes. I done looked at Tim the Tap Man for a while, Nick Merckx. Like, I haven't sat down and watched none of these dudes' streams like all the way through except for Tim. But I know who, some of these streamers is. I even know some of the female streamers. I don't sit down and watch no female streamer. Now, that's not because I don't like watching female streamers or nothing like that, but I don't understand. It's like I used to say, like, somebody used to, like, I used to have a homie, right, a homegirl, who used to love Nicki Minaj. I don't know if she still loved Nicki Minaj, but she loved Nicki Minaj, right? I done had a couple homegirls who don't love Nicki Minaj, but she was the biggest Nicki Minaj fan I'd never met. And I remember motherfucker used to ask me, like, about Nicki Minaj songs and shit like that, right? And I'm like, yo, why would I sit down and listen to Nicki Minaj? Like, what the fuck would she be talking about that I care to hear? You know what I'm saying? And she used to think that shit was so ignorant. But in the same breath, me saying, I still stand by that. Like, what would they be sitting there? Now, granted, it is kind of still a little ignorant. Like, actually, I don't really stand by that. Because there's a lot of motherfuckers who sing and rap about shit that why would I care about? It's pretty fire. You know what I'm saying? So, I kind of have changed my stance on that. But I don't listen to female rappers most of the time. Like, it's kind of different for me because, like, let's say I love Rihanna, right? Okay, Rihanna is not singing about shit that I care about most of the time, but it's different because I'm not listening to a female rapper most of the time. You know what I'm saying? But, yo, in my defense, it's a lot of male rappers I'm not listening to. Any dude with Lil in front of them probably that just came out the last couple years with rainbow hair or all these goofy ass things that make themselves, weird ass tattoos everywhere. Any of these, new rappers the mumble rappers, the rappers who really don't rap good, who have wild fans, like, all them motherfuckers is whack. So there's no offense to, like, female rappers specifically, because like I said, I think Cardi B is actually fire. Like, I fuck with I don't sit down and listen to Cardi B, but I done heard a couple Cardi B tracks, and I got like 4 Cardi B tracks where she like features, like she got a Bruno Mars song. I got WAP on my phone. I got WAP. Hey, WAP's fire. I don't care what nobody say. I'm pretty sure I done said this before, but WAP is a fire ass track. I don't care what nobody say. And you know what was crazy? I remember when WAP first came out and people always making a big deal about it, and I was like, yo, they must be really talking about some wild shit on this song for people to be feeling the way they feeling. But I never went to go check it out, right? Because it's a female rap song. Like, why would I want to go hear a female rap song? But I never indulged in, like, everybody's mayhem and going, like, just going crazy about, look, the women look up to them and little girl. I'm just like, okay, bro, people got to be going wild. One night I was at work, and at the job late at night at Wendy's, when we closed, the night crew, we used to always have a speaker, a Beats pill, and we play music once the lobby closed. And our one of the head managers had the speaker that night, and she was playing the music, right? And she was playing some trash shit most of the time, because she was playing shit that I definitely don't want to listen to. Like, she was playing, and this song really kind of do fit into it, but like, she was playing music kind of like WAP, but with nowhere near as hard as WAP. But it was like only shit females would want to sit down and listen to. Like, and I'm not trying to be like, gender biased or no shit like that, but it's a group of songs, or it's like a set thing of songs that it's more likely females would be sitting down listening to as a playlist, like on their you don't see most males, and I'm not saying it's not males out there who don't, but you're not gonna find most males work playlists with Olivia Rodriguez on it, you know what I'm saying? Singing about a breakup or something like that, or Selena Gomez or Taylor Swift. Well, I pray that none of you really have Taylor Swift on you, because Taylor Swift cannot sing, but Adele's and stuff like that. Now, Adele got some bumpers, and I'm not throwing shade on none of these artists. I'm throwing shade on Taylor Swift, but I'm not throwing shade on none of these other artists. But I'm saying you wouldn't find most of those tracks by those individuals on a male's work playlist, whereas Kit had these type of songs on her playlist, and I understood it, but I'm like, come on, man, we don't want to listen to your playlist you listen to at home at night when you smoking, bro. But out of nowhere, I started, WAP came on, but I didn't know what WAP was at the time. Like, I had never heard this song before. There's some hoes in this house, There's some hoes, and I already like the beat and shit. And I was like, wait a minute, this shit kind of fire. I still don't know that this is WAP. And I had never really heard Meg Thee Stallion rap before. So I'm listening to her rap on this shit, and I'm like, I don't know who this is. And I'm like, yo, whoever the fuck just rapped that shit. And then I heard Cardi, and I know Cardi when I hear it. And I'm like, yo, this shit is fire. Now my high ass at the moment I hadn't put the 2 and 2 together that was the WAP song. So I had walked up to my man. I was like, yo, what's this track right here? She was like, no, I don't think I did ask her. She was like, this that song by Cardi B now. And somebody, who the fuck else? It was another female, because the person who I asked was answering it, but it was somebody else who told me that it was WAP. Oh, I know who it was. It was this other. I'm not telling y'all none of their names. It's very hard for me to tell this story without just saying their names, because I'm so used to saying their names. But the woman who was at Sandwiches, she said, she said it's WAP. You ain't never heard WAP? And they was trying to make it like, and I was like, man, I live on a rock, yada yada yada. So when I was like, so this is WAP, and they was like, yeah, this is WAP. I was like, yo, that shit is hard, yo. And motherfuckers think I'm just the wildest for thinking that. But I'm telling you, bro, as I'm just a fan of music, bro. I'm not, if it's hard, it's hard. That shit, bro. Let me tell you how hard I think WAP is. And this could be a very ignorant statement based off of my limited female rap catalog. I think WAP might be the best female rap song I've ever heard in my lifetime. Lyrically, they went stupid. Multiple bars. Bro, you might be disgusted with some of the bars they had, but some of the fucking bars and the wordplay and shit was just insane in that song. Like, I don't care what nobody say. That song WAP was fire. And when she played that shit that night, I knew after hearing that shit, I was like, oh yeah, that's going on my phone, bro. And when I would play that shit, motherfuckers would look around. Bro, it was this one dude who I used to work with, and that was my guy. I love him to death. He the dude who gave me my Beats pill. When I get rich, I'ma bless him. This motherfucker hated that WAP song, bro. Every time I would play. Oh, and it was another song I would play too. So, bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro, I have no bias, like gender bias on music. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's not an intentional, like, hateful bias. But another song that he hated this shit more than he hated WAP. I would play this Lizzo song, bro. What's the name of that shit? You could have had a bad bitch. Whatever that song is, bro. That shit's a bop, bro. I was listening to that. I wasn't even listening to it. I was on YouTube one day listening to, looking at hood compilations, which they don't even make those shits no more. But I was looking at that shit one day, and I think it was like you and your homegirl, something, and it was two girls in the kitchen dancing to that Lizzo shit. And that was the first time I had heard that track. And then I was at work one day and somebody had it playing again. And I was like, yo, this shit kind of a bop. And I started to like that shit. And my homeboy hated, like, bro, this dude hated Lizzo, bro. One day when I'm big, I'm going to bring him on the show so he can talk to y'all about why he hated that Lizzo song so much, bro. It almost felt like he had an ex that loved that Lizzo song, but I know that's not the case because he told me multiple reasons. Like, this is a dude who, and this ain't somebody who just a hateful person. Like, this is a dude who, you know, very cool. Now, I will say this, bro. Me and him do got a lot of the same, like, he likes some of the songs that I like, but me and him do not have the same taste in music because he likes some songs sometimes, and I'm just like, bruh. It's no way that you like that. It was no way that you thought that was a great song, bro. You know what song everybody could vibe to, though? Despacito. That shit was a vibe when that shit came out. Motherfucker don't know none of the words to that song. Now, my homeboy did, because he understood Spanish and could speak it. But, hey, we had a mommy who worked, we call her mommy. I'm not going to tell you her real name. But she was an older Latino woman, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your lifetime. Every time she heard, so her sons She had, I think, 3 sons or 2 little boys or 3 little boys. She was like legitimately one of the coolest motherfuckers I'd ever met in my lifetime, bro. Like, she was so fucking cool. I can praise her all fucking day long, bro. And when she heard a song that she liked, she was kind of like Captain America. When a song came on, oh, I know that my sons, they like that. And I'm like, I like it too, mommy. Coolest person in the world, bro. Either way, let's get to this basketball talk. So, listen. Got to talk about Draymond Green. So Draymond Green did his podcast today, and boy, he was firing off. I don't really know if you want to say he was firing shots, but he had a list and he was checking it twice, as J. Cole would say. Been counting me out, counting my bullets, I'm loading my clip, I'm writing down names, I'm making a list, I'm checking it twice, and I'm getting them hit. The river's been dying, the fake ones is lit. The game is off balance, I'm back on my shit. The Bentley is dirty, my niggas is dirty, but that's how I like it. You all on my day. I just poured something in my cup. I just wanted something. Hey, but like I said, he had his list. He was checking shit off. Now I could tell. Dray said that his worst show was that one that they did when they won the finals, and I kind of figured he would say something. I don't think it was a bad show, because I understand you literally just won the NBA championship, bro, and you trying to give fans like that backdoor experience to your thoughts and how you feeling right after winning a championship, something that you couldn't do back in the day. Like Jordan and them boys couldn't get on, a live stream or upload a video 10 minutes after they won a championship back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Fans can live vicariously through, so it wasn't a bad show. But I understand what he was talking about as to why he thought it was one of the worst shows he done. Either way, though, and I wasn't looking at that show after that game thinking to myself like, oh man, he gonna be so informative about what happened tonight, breaking down. I wasn't looking for that. As a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't even watched if I had to sit right there and listen to him after winning the fucking championship talk about the breakdowns of the game and analyze the game. Listen, there's a time for analyzation, and y'all know I'm big on wishing these motherfuckers would analyze the game rather than just creating these stupid ass narratives and shit to talk about, to create content and views. But after you win a championship, my boy, you take those victory laps for as long as you get to take those victory laps or want to. If you didn't analyze a fucking thing from that game, nobody would have mind, bro. You legit just won a championship. The analyzation is over. The job has been completed. We ain't analyzing no more, my guy. We celebrating, motherfuckers. So that's the first thing with Dray. But boy, the other reason I knew he would say that, because some of the people who he was addressing just off the top of his head in that show, he didn't really get to go deep into it and whatnot, and he didn't even address some of the dudes who I knew he wanted to address, but he did on this one. And so one of the people who he addressed is somebody who I consistently done addressed on this show. And I still feel like there's other dudes he could have addressed, but some of these dudes think that they bigger than they is. And that should just let you know how unimportant that you truly are to some of these athletes, that they truly do not know who some of these motherfuckers is to even give them the time of day. Like dead ass. Or they just don't find you, you know what I'm saying, like worthy of talk time at all. So one of the dudes who I do wish he had a win at, but clearly he didn't feel like was worthy enough to even get a mention, was Max Kellerman's bitch ass. But you know, that's just me personally, because I still feel like he is absolutely one of the absolute worst. And when I say it's a special section for those motherfuckers who is just like coons and motherfuckers who just say the most racist, outlandish, goofy, archaic shit like the Mad Dog Russo. It's a special category for them. But motherfuckers who, you know, don't get up there with no racial intent or, you know what I'm saying, nothing goofy like that, but just have outrageously biased, stupid ass takes like Max, Skip, Nick, you know what I'm saying, that's different. That's the category I'm talking about. Max Kellerman is one of the stupidest basketball minds I've ever, like, when it comes to listening to somebody talk about basketball, Max Kellerman is by far one of the worst listens. Because the motherfucker clearly don't know what the fuck he talking about. He don't know past the basic shit that everybody else fucking know. And so, that's the person who I wish he had called out. But he called out Skip Bayless. And you know me, man. You know me, man. Somebody who don't fucking like Skip Bayless. Well, I wouldn't even say I don't like Skip Bayless, but I really feel like that's the type of person I wouldn't like. Just because I don't like how this motherfucker has been able to build up his career. And I don't understand how that is like, that's not sports, bro. Just because this motherfucker talks sports and like, he go at motherfuckers in sports, basically, he don't really analyze the games. He just talks sports, you know? That should not qualify him as, oh, he a journalist and all that. Like, bro, maybe at one point in time he was, but now this motherfucker legit is just hating on a regular basis. And sure, when you talking sports as much as Skip Bayless, you're bound to say something correct here or there. But other than that, he is exactly done what Draymond Green has said. Built his legacy off of tearing a black man down. Riding the coattails of a black man in LeBron James. And I'm going to take it further. In LeBron James, in Shannon Sharpe, in Stephen A. Smith. Because this is my problem with Skip Bayless. Among the ton of problems that I have with Skip Bayless, this motherfucker has not been better than Stephen A. At the end of their run, he was not the better of Stephen A. and him. He has not been better than Shannon Sharpe. He is, his resume, like Dray was saying, ain't LeBron James' resume. So the fact that this motherfucker is big, and now he shit on Curry on a regular basis. The man get to shit on dudes who are far greater at life than him, like Richard Sherman said. And then the dudes who he worked with have to sing this man's praise. Oh, Skip Bayless did this for me. And he is so far and away. And those men are so far and away better at what they do than Skip Bayless. I hate seeing Stephen A. consistently throw all this praise at Skip Bayless. Because, bruh, Skip Bayless might have took you to the well, but he didn't force feed you, bruh. He ain't putting in this type of work that you putting in. He ain't forcing you to put in the type of work that you putting in, bruh. He ain't got nothing to do with your success right now, bruh. He is a small part to do with it in the beginning. Bruh, what you done and succeeded to do, and have succeeded at since Skip Bayless, bruh, to me it's just insane that they keep giving him all this. But I get it. I get it. However, the fact that this motherfucker can get on TV and hate on LeBron on a regular basis, hate on Steph on a regular basis, say the most out, like, bro, over the weekend he tweeted out something about Westbrook, and Westbrook responded, whoa, yo, keep my name out your mouth, don't say nothing about me that you wouldn't say to my face. And I believe Skip Bayless deleted the tweet. And this is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Like, people was trying to clown Westbrook, talking about, oh, it's your name, you miss a lot of shots and you can't be mad because, bruh, it's a difference between, listen, for one, I don't give a fuck. I think fans are disrespectful anyways. And you already know how I feel about fans. I'm constantly telling y'all I don't like fans because fans are some of the most ignorant human beings I've ever met in my lifetime, I've ever seen in my lifetime. Because the fact that fans can pay a ticket price to come in and treat these fucking athletes as if they are less than animals. These motherfuckers don't do to their dogs what they do to these fucking athletes and talk to these athletes. They don't talk to their dogs the way they talk to these fucking athletes. So I have a huge problem with fans. You already know that. But fans, as much as I have a problem with fans chanting Westbrook, I understand that's just what they do. They don't care about disrespect. You had a whole fucking Celtics arena chanting fuck Draymond Green. The whole fucking Memphis arena chanting whoop that trick. So I understand the fans are going to be the fans, ignorant. Or that subsection of the fans are going to be ignorant. I understand that. I don't like it, but I understand it. Skip Bayless getting on TV. And it's paid. Skip Bayless he gets on TV and is supposedly paid to analyze sports. You watch the game, you talk about the game. Yet, somehow, in analyzing the game, he thinks it's cool and in bounds to consistently call Westbrook just because he missed shots. It's okay to call him Westbrick, which is an insult. That's not that man's name. And I don't understand how people don't understand that when you are not praising somebody, when you are blatantly trying to disrespect or belittle someone, and you call them outside of their name, you call them anything that ain't their fucking name, when you trying to be disrespectful or critical or anything of that nature, I don't know how y'all can do not see that as disrespect. That man's name is not Russell Westbrook. It's Russell Westbrook. Him missing 1,000 fucking shots don't give you the right to walk around calling that man Russell Westbrook. And like I said, the fans are going to be the fans. I understand that. Don't like it, understand it. This motherfucker is paid to get on TV and talk about sports, analyze the game. Yet what he chooses to do is get on TV and call LeBron out of his name, call Westbrook out of his name. And because these athletes don't respond, everybody think it's cool. Everybody else get to do it. Everybody. Do you see Tim Legler call these motherfuckers out of their name when they break down the game, when he analyze and break down the game? And it's very funny to me that a motherfucker like Tim Legler don't have a show. And I understand a motherfucker like Tim Legler not possibly being a lead of a show, but I do think he should be on more shows, because you don't have too many motherfuckers who can break down and analyze a game like Tim Legler without being disrespectful to a player. He can break down a Westbrook game. You won't hear him call Westbrook not one time. Not one time. But Skip Bayless can get on TV and do that shit and everybody think it's cool. Everybody think it's funny. Everybody think that's okay. No, it's not okay. But it's okay for these ignorant ass fans, because the fans done got to a point where they basically have become uncontrollable. Skip Bayless is paid to get on TV and analyze and break down games, not to get on TV and be funny and disrespectful towards a player. And now he get to get on TV and say it, because there's no punishment. He get to get on TV and say it every fucking day of the week if he want to. Now everybody else think it's cool, and monkey see, monkey do. He said I can say it. He do it, I can do it. And that's just wild to me. Because you don't have nobody walking around calling you a bitch every day. Oh, whoa, he didn't call Russell bitch. It's no different. He calling him out of his name and disrespecting him with the intent of disrespecting him. I'm calling you out of your name with the intent to disrespect you. What's the difference? Oh, because bitch is a curse word. Westbrook is no different than a curse word in his mind. But you don't empathize with Westbrook because you can't see past this man missing shots. Because that's how much more important basketball is. In your warped reality, in your warped mind, basketball somehow is more important than the shit that's going on in real life. Like these jackasses that continue to ban abortions. You got no type of thoughts on shit like that, but this basketball shit so important to you that it's a free fall when it comes to disrespecting these athletes or watching other people do it and thinking that it's okay. And the motherfuckers who don't get off on disrespecting athletes and belittling athletes all the time, those are the motherfuckers who actually don't get the views. But the ones who when they do get the views, they got some of the best loyal audiences, and that audience usually praise them for what they do, for not being ignorant and having to be. And that's all Draymond talking about. Among a lot of different things with the new media, you don't have to belittle a man to talk great on another man or woman. You don't have to belittle athletes to uplift another one. Like dickhead Nick Wright. Like dickheads. Bro, Michael Jordan don't even play no more. You would think Michael Jordan still play every day the way Skip Bayless continues to try to defend a man whose legacy is already set in stone. And his version of defending Michael Jordan is just straight up disrespecting LeBron James. Like, how many times can this man... And I don't even care. I wouldn't... See, Draymond said one of his biggest problems with these analysts is that they get on TV and do this shit, and it's people who actually watch this shit and they consume this. And so people who don't watch the games as much, who rely on these motherfuckers who watch it, they get on TV and say some of this uninformed shit, this inaccurate, goofy, stupid, biased shit. You got stupid ass fans thinking this shit too. They have got on TV and crucified certain analysts have gotten on TV and went so hard on Russell Westbrook, bro. You got motherfuckers trying to claim. I literally hear on a regular basis multiple motherfuckers who paid to talk basketball, bro, disrespect Russell Westbrook. On that the brother podcast with Michael Smith and his homie or whatever that show called, there was a dude on there the other day who disrespected Russell Westbrook, bro. This revisionist history of, Kevin Durant couldn't have won with a Russell Westbrook. Bro, Russell Westbrook was a perennial all-star in OKC, bro. And if KD is the leader that y'all continuously try to make him out to be, bro, y'all cannot continuously throw all the blame on everybody but Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant. But when you are the leader of a team, certain shit come with that. Now, if Kevin Durant not going to be the best player, not going to be the leader of a fucking team, then y'all motherfuckers going to have to lower y'all expectations, stop comparing him to certain players, and stop calling that motherfucker the best player in the NBA. Because you cannot be the best player in the NBA if you don't even want to be the leader on your own fucking team. Like, you can say all you want to about LeBron James. That's a motherfucker who done cleared, whether you like how he lead his team or not. It's a motherfucker who done took a leadership role and take all the punches and the hits that come along with it. Steph Curry, Kawhi Leonard at times. Like, it's not the same. I see so many people rushing to try to defend Kevin Durant rather than try to actually critique his game. And like I done said, bro, it's no problem with actually critiquing Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant was more of a leader, he just want to hoop. He don't want to do that. He don't want to concern himself with that type shit. And that's cool. If you the second, third best player on the team, you the leader. You the best player on our team. You the dude who's supposed to be the leader. You don't have the other dudes around you that can do what Steph was doing or Dray was doing for you. You have to be that guy. That's why you left here. So you can't just say, I want to be, hoop and do me and let everybody else do that. What? No. But for some reason, motherfuckers don't want to say that. Like, now they thinking that's disrespecting Kevin Durant. The motherfuckers get on TV and disrespect Steph Curry on a regular basis, bro. This shit's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. And Russell Westbrook should have a problem with Skip Bayless calling this man Russell Westbrook on a regular basis. Because for one, Skip bitch ass the one who started the shit. Two, like I said, to call this man Russell Westbrook, and it's different. I don't like nobody doing it because, like I said, calling somebody out of their name is whack. But I get it because it's the fans. I'm no saint. I call that motherfucker Baker Midfield. Now it's a little bit different because, like I said, you got motherfuckers disrespecting Russell Westbrook, trying to act like the man was never great. That motherfucker was in perennial all-star, as a first ballot Hall of Famer, and just because the motherfucker is not the same player he used to be now, y'all not finna disrespect Russ, bro. It's just not about to happen. Now, yes, I be calling that motherfucker Baker Midfield. In my defense, I'm not defending calling him that. What I am doing is saying that motherfucker ain't never been no Russell Westbrook in his career. Okay? So it ain't like I'm calling Peyton Manning, like, Peyton Mid. You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield is below average at best. On his best day, he scratched that average surface. Matter of fact, on his absolute best days, he sit right at average. But that's it. Y'all motherfuckers is disrespecting Russell Westbrook like that motherfucker ain't really like that. Or wasn't really like that. Like, Baker Midfield ain't never been like that since he been in the NFL, bro. Y'all love to give everybody. I saw somebody say the other fucking day, nobody talk about how Baker led this team. I think it was Skip, dumbass. I'm like, bro, what? Like, bro, we was definitely watching some different games, bro. Y'all love not giving Nick Chubb his credit, that defense. Y'all love not giving none of them other dudes on that team credit. Stefanski, like, everything, all the success was Baker. I'm like, yo. Actually, I think it was a different show. I don't think it was Skip, because I would have remembered what Skip goofy ass had said. But I understand Russ's problem, and that's my thing too, because I saw somebody tweet they think that Skip Bayless would call him that to his face. I don't. That motherfucker Russ came up to him and said, call me that to my face. I do not think Skip would call him that. What Skip would do is try to get around it by saying, well, the reason I have called you Russell Westbrook in the past, he would say shit like that. And then another thing that Skip do that really irritate me, but it's why I knew the type of motherfucker he was, is because that's how he responded to conflict. He turned conflict into a money-making opportunity. Now, you got to respect motherfuckers who do that when they get to a point where they can turn anything to a money opportunity because of the position they in. But you see, that's also my problem with Skip. I'm not hating on the man for being able to make his money. I'm hating on the man for how he make his money, the exploit he do to make his money. Like I said, the man supposed to be close with Stephen A. Smith. He started up a fake beef with Stephen A. Smith for the money. The man constantly been going at, when anybody beef with that motherfucker, as far as an athlete, Charles Barkley athlete, you want to know what his response is? And that's why it was so funny when Draymond addressed him tonight. You could come on the show and talk about it. We'll love to have you on the show. Bro, I'm not going on your show to boost your fucking ratings, yo. Like, it's not happening. And I love that Draymond said that. Like, I'm not coming on your fucking show. Like, yo, stop it. Like, the fact that that's his response to everything in the beginning just lets you know the type of motherfucker this is, bro. Like, let's just go on TV and get ratings off of talking about it and arguing. Like, dude's a dickhead, man. And I don't understand how that's still like the standard, if you will, to making money on TV in the sports world. Like, that's crazy to me. It's like watching Mad Dog. I don't know if I've actually never heard anybody like around my age say that they like Mad Dog. But I'm imagining the motherfucker done been around for so long because he had to be good at talking about something. And I've heard that it's baseball. So maybe he great at talking baseball. The motherfucker's not made for TV, bruh. The way he talk and speak on athletes, bruh, fuck no. And, bro, these sensitivity training classes and shit like that, do they just get to decide who? Do you just have to fuck up to be in some of these classes? Like, they don't listen to how some of these dudes talk and think to themselves, yo, we should possibly put this motherfucker in a sensitivity training class. Because it's usually never the women. It's usually never the women who, I'm not saying the women don't say wild shit, but they usually don't say shit that feel like it's a tone deaf type of statement, like a racist type of statement, or a hella ignorant type of sexist type statement. You know what I'm saying? It don't never feel like the women had that type of problem. Now, I understand why they don't have that type of problem, because they usually have to tiptoe through their industries anyways and be as polite as possible and have the utmost respect in most of these male-dominated industries. So I get why they already have that built-in type of respectfulness, if you will, because that's really what it is. It feel like a lot of these old heads, most of these old white dudes, got a lack of respect when they talk about athletes and shit. And I think that's a huge problem. But I don't know how you have to wait for one of these motherfuckers to fuck up before they have to do the sensitivity training and shit like that. Because I don't know how you don't listen to Mad Dog Russo and think to yourself, this old hat could really use some sensitivity and some up-to-date training on how to fucking talk. And I know there's going to be some people out there like, oh, you're so sensitive, you're so racist. You're either so racist or so very young and fucking ignorant. And at this point, I would really appreciate it if that young crowd of, you know, people who love to talk about everything that they don't know nothing about, they don't have the facts or nothing, they got rappers as their profile picture and anime. Yo, please shut the fuck up and grow up. And then start inserting yourself into different things. Because it's very scary that the future is relying on you goofy motherfuckers. And you goofy motherfuckers is out here on social medias and shit like this, saying and doing some of the wildest shit, yo. Speaking of saying and doing the wildest shit, I was looking at a video yesterday night at Chiseled Adonis. It was a long fucking day yesterday, bro. I left the crib at 8 in the morning, didn't get back till 10 at fucking night, helping my cousin move. But I was watching a Chiseled Adonis video last night, and I'm looking at this woman talk about, like, for one, bro, I don't know how people enjoy these females or males getting on these podcasts and shit, talking about these gang stories, talking about these sex stories, these wild ass sex parties and shit. I don't understand how that still have a big media market and shit like that, and a big fan base and a big following. To hear some of these motherfucking females and dudes say some of the goofy ass shit that they say. I saw this video from Chisel Dons where he was speaking on this female, I guess her name is Carmen Karma or something like that. Bro, the stories that she was speaking on. For one, I'm not the type of person that speak death on people and be like, oh, you need to die and shit like that. I listened to her tell them stories last night and thought to myself, just immediately in my head, I was like, I laughed and was like, yo, she would have caught a bullet or two. Like, I've never really listened to too many people tell stories where I thought to myself, I would kill you. But she said multiple stories that made me question if my freedom would have been worth it after hearing them stories. And I definitely know it's some motherfuckers who done killed for less. So I know some motherfuckers out there who they hear that story and they are on their way to your crib as we speak. But I heard those stories and was like, I don't believe in taking a person's life. But boy, that type of story would get me very close to taking a life. You know, you think the only things that would make you take a life is somebody harming your parents, your mother, your father, your siblings, sister, brothers, you know. But I listened to them fucking stories she said last night, and I was like, yeah, outside of that situation, this thing that she talking about might be one of the closest things that'll get you a bullet to the dome or something, or definitely get a drive-by when you're walking down to the corner store one day or whatnot. Because what the absolute fuck. Mind you, she should be in prison for some of them fucking stories if she was telling the truth. Also, bro, to call out Buddy's name in that one of them stories, like, bro, so disrespectful, man. Like, and the fact that this is an audience for this shit, bro, like, yo, are you serious? Like, how? This unbelievable, bro. Just unbelievable. But back to Skip Bayless. Yo, before I hop back in, break. Yeah, we taking a break tonight. Hey, I got some pizza right here, bro. It's cold, but I'm still gonna eat it. I want to say, Little Caesars being the official pizza of the NFL is disgusting. I think I done spoke on that before, but I also want to say this while we on break. I was eating some Papa John's the other day. Shit was disgusting. The only thing Papa John's know how to make is a pepperoni pizza, it feel like. And I don't order pepperoni pizzas. Like I do, but not often. So now I feel like if I want a pepperoni pizza, like if I ever had an urge for a pepperoni pizza, I'ma just have to get it from Papa John's. Because any other pizza thing they serve is just fucking disgusting to me. Then you got these motherfuckers who say nobody out pizzas the Hut. Motherfuckers let Little Caesars out pizza the Hut. And you know, this just go to show you that the NFL really got no standards. Because Little Caesars is disgusting. And you got those weirdos out there who love Little Caesars. Like, you got two type of people who like Little Caesars. Look, motherfuckers who like broke, like myself. Like, not like myself as far as like liking Little Caesars, just broke. Because I hate Little Caesars. But you got those motherfuckers out there who like to talk about constantly being on a budget, even though if you go pick up Domino's, like you gotta go pick up Little Caesars, the pizza is cheap there too. You got a $6 hot and ready, because it don't cost $5 no more. You got a $6 hot and ready that you gotta go pick up from Little Caesars. You literally can get the $6 combo. Deal at the $6 or I think it's like a $5 deal at Domino's if you go get it and pick it up, where you pick 2 items at least, and they like $5 a piece, and if it's delivery it's like $6 a piece or $7. Bro, the price difference in that shit is so slim, and the pizza gonna taste better because it's coming from Domino's. The chicken tastes nasty at all them motherfucking places. Even at Pizza Hut, the chicken nasty. I don't like that Wing Street shit either. You can get better chicken at Arby's. The other type of motherfucker that like Little Caesars is just one of those weird motherfuckers who just like Little Caesars. Like, you can't really explain it. They just like Little Caesars. And I'm one of them weird motherfuckers who like Chuck E. Cheese pizza. Like, I can eat some Chuck E. Cheese pizza and I will not be bothered. For the simple reason I know how it's supposed to taste. I usually know how it's gonna taste. And I'm not bothered by that taste. I actually appreciate that taste sometimes. It lets you know where you came from. You know what I'm saying? Even it lets you know where you've been and where you're trying to get to, my man. But so I understand those weirdos who like that nasty ass Little Caesar and can't explain it, because I'm one of them weirdos who like Chuck E. Cheese. Now, I'm not just going out and buying a Chuck E. Cheese pizza for the fuck of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just waking up one day and saying, you know what it tastes good today? Some Chuck E. Cheese pizza. I'm never doing that. It's actually motherfuckers who wake up every day and it's like, you know what? It tastes good today? Some Little Caesars. Bro, I'm promising you it's some Little Caesar regulars who not broke, they just love Little Caesars. That is very much weird. And so you psychopaths in the comment sections walking around talking about some fucking, oh yeah, Little Caesars is good. I don't know why people acting like it tastes that. No, it's not good, bro. It's a cardboard box. But I don't think Pizza Hut tastes good either, so I'm really at the point where I gotta find some new pizza, man. We still on break. When I go to silence on break, that means I'm taking in that air, man. I'm taking in that air. I leave all I am in the hands of history. If I ain't, oh no, that ain't the bar. If I ain't number one, then I failed you. Hey, y'all ever heard that song History by Hov? But listen, I ate from this place called Culver's finally. Yo, that shit is fire. I had it was so good the first day. I got it the second day and it was even better, bro. That smash burger shit, I never liked it. Oh my god, at Culver's, I love it. They could do better with them fucking french fries. I will say that. I have yet to get good set of fries from Culver's. Both days I got it, they was soggy, cold, no salt. I'm like, what the fuck's going on with these fries? Both days though, the burgers done been knocked out of the fucking ballpark. Like, I'm like, yo, this is a great fucking burger. The fries though is like an integral part of the meal, and you know what I'm saying? The fries was disgusting. Not even disgusting as in they tasted nasty. Just disgusting in the sense that like these ain't really edible. I let my dog, my cousin's dog, kill them shits. Still on break, bro. We got like 1 more minute for break. Or a couple more seconds, actually. You know, you could use this time to get you a drink, you know, roll you something up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, today's sponsors. We can talk about today's sponsors. Nobody. That's the sponsor. We'll try again next show. Yo, I was so fucking tired this morning, yo. I just thought about that. I was so fucking tired after yesterday. Dead ass. I woke up, so I went to bed as soon as I got to the crib last night. Actually, no, I didn't. I stayed up for probably I moseyed, like drooped around. I had to take a shower. So when I first got to the crib, I didn't get out my car for like 30, 40 minutes. I was so tired. When I finally got out of my truck, I walked into my crib and I took a shower. I had to, bro. Moving my cousin yesterday, not only was I sweating all day and like drenched, but I had so much dog hair on me because my cousin got 2 cats and a husky, and the fucking dog hair in that house, bro, was ridiculous. Everything had dog hair on it. Everything. Nothing we carried yesterday did not have dog hairs on it, and so I was drenched in sweat and dog hairs. So I took my shower last night, tried to hit a blunt. I was like, nah, I'm too tired, fuck that. Got into bed, went to sleep, woke up this morning. So I went to bed around, I want to say 12 o'clock maybe. I woke up around 8 o'clock, tried to go back to sleep, and I was tired, but I couldn't go back to sleep, right? So, went outside, sat out there for a little while, smoked a blunt, went back inside, took shit, went back outside, thought to myself, what am I gonna eat? Was too tired to actually drive and go get something to eat. Plus, my truck been acting like a real bitch lately, so that's that. You could just be having the best of days and your fucking vehicle can just say, yeah, I'm finna fuck all that up. But I'm sitting out here thinking about what I'm finna eat. I go back inside, and I just pass the fuck out again, bruh. I pass out for like another 3 hours. I wake up, still can't get up. Go back to sleep. Wake up after like 40 minutes. Finally get up, go get me something to eat. Eat that shit, go right back to sleep. I was so fucking tired, bro. I'm telling you. Moving for a living is not what you want to do. I've been doing it for a long time, but listen, I ain't gonna be doing this bullshit forever, I promise you. And moving is one of those jobs where it's really no true such thing as don't work, you can work smarter, not harder. Because let's say one of the things that make it easier to move is like having dollies. But let's say like in my situation yesterday where I'm on the second fucking story of an apartment, or the first story, and it's 15, 16 fucking steps. Getting a couch on a dolly down them steps is going to be tougher than if you just try to carry this shit down. So, and then we get his shit to his new house and the fucking couch wouldn't go through neither of the fucking doors. My man broke his glass screen door. Mind you, I like their house. It's like an old Victorian, once they like get this house fixed up and shit gonna look like a house off of like one of them Disney movies, like off of Richie Rich or something. It's not a mansion or nothing, but it's gonna be an absolutely stunning house when they get that shit fixed up. A lot of work to be done on it. A lot of work. But once they get that shit fixed, oh my God. And they don't have kids yet, so this is perfect. They can do the fixing and shit. And they do a lot of fucking, so they're going to be fucking and fixing the house at the same time. And I say they, talking about my cousin and his wife. My cousin is the one whose wedding I went to like a couple months back, because he and his wife had just got married like 2-3 months ago at Tanglewood, and I helped him move into his house yesterday. Like I said, a lot of work needed to be done. but once they get it done, like my man's got a fucking mini house behind his house that's basically, they call it a garage. It's not a garage because you can't park a car in it. Now you can get it fixed so that you could turn it into a garage if you wanted to park cars in it, but nah, that's not that way his house set up. It's like I don't even know what you would call it, an awning or something like that on top of the thing. Like it's hard to explain, bro. I don't have those type of terms to describe houses and shit. I wish I did. I don't. But he wanted to tear that shit down. He like, look at all the damage it's gonna cost so much to get down. I was like, bro, you done bought the house, bro. Like, you paying a mortgage now, bro. Like, this your house forever. You gonna hope your kids, take over this house when you die one day in a very, 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 very distant future. Hopefully, your kids gonna, be able to take over this house one day and, grow up in this house. You're gonna watch your kids and whatnot. You're gonna have to spend Christmases and holidays in this house. Like, don't tear that down, man. I said you're gonna have this forever, so you're gonna always have time to fix that up. You already got the base of it built out. Like, it's already built. Now it just need things to be fixed on it. It'd cost you more to tear that bitch down and have to rebuild it from scratch. You could just be working on it now, having people come in and fix this part, fix that part, fix the roof, fix the inside, fix the door, fix the outside, fix the painting. You know what I'm saying? Got a 2-piece yard, like, beautiful house. Now I know he thinking to himself, like, a lot of work. Like, he already have a mission he got to do. Like, he got to pull off these vines off the side of his house that was on the top of his house, like on the side. My man's he said yesterday, I'm not scared of heights, but I really don't want to get up there. But he got to get up high on his house now to get these vines down, which is some bullshit that the contractor said that he couldn't do it. That's something my cousin had to do. I'm not happy about that, because if my cousin fall and get hurt, I'm gonna be, because my cousin is basically like a little brother to me. That's basically our relationship. He is like a little brother to me. And so if something happened to him because he had to get on the side of his house and he get hurt, I'm gonna be real fucking pissed that punk ass contractor couldn't just do it for what they paying his punk ass to do. But that's neither here nor there. We off break. So another person that Draymond Green addressed was Nick Wright. I'm not gonna really get into his thing with with Cedric Maxwell. I don't care for that. But Nick Wright and his he was like, LeBron James can go 1 for 19 in the game, and Nick Wright gonna be like, man, that's the best shot. Like, he hit this shot. Like, bruh, analyze the game, bruh. Let your bias go, bruh. And he also brought up how Kendrick not analyzing the finals. I like Boston, so he just gonna say and make up any type of shit to say to support Boston, just like Nick Wright do. And like I said, that is a fucking problem, bro. You got these LeBron stans in the media who is only in the media to protect LeBron's legacy for some reason. As if this motherfucker's legacy is not already solidified and continuing to grow with his success. That's how this thing works. You don't get to just continuously add or subtract things from his legacy just because you like a player and don't like other players, or feel like all these dudes who trying to crown him better than Jordan just because they want to crown, he the best thing on it. Like, bruh, if you are watching and analyzing, it's no way you saying that he the GOAT. And that's no disrespect to LeBron James. He is one of the greatest players I've ever watched. But it's hard to make an argument that man, if I'm being honest and analyzing what we've seen and what he's done, that he better than Jordan. I don't think he better than Kobe. But, when we talk about LeBron, everybody dumb it down to stats in a one-on-one type of game, just like they do with Kevin Durant. Just not to the extent, because they'll never put Kevin Durant in the same category. I also don't like it how they try to make it so blasphemous. Like, the thing that they've been doing lately this week, these talking heads, is trying to make it, if you put Steph Curry in the top 10, who you taking out? I don't want to take somebody. That's how these things work, bruh. That's the reality. That's how these things work. You can what's wild to me is that damn near nobody has taken Tim Duncan out of their top 10. And that's not one of these situations of so many people think that's what's good. No, bro. It's like Tim Duncan got this shit where nobody can critique that man. Dead ass. Like, people talk about all these different types. Think about any athlete that you think get praised a lot in the media, and it ain't nothing compared to Tim Duncan, bro. I can't remember the last time I heard anybody say anything negative about Tim Duncan in the media. And I'm not taking a shot at Tim Duncan. I'm talking about the player Tim Duncan. Bruh, it's just wild to me what Tim Duncan, the level people put him. I'm just saying, bro. I'm not finna get into this whole Tim Duncan shit again, but it was just absolutely wild to me that people. I done heard people say they'll take Kobe out. I done heard people say they take Magic out. I done heard people say they take so many different players out. The only people who ain't really nobody done said they take out is Bron and MJ. But I done heard so many people, and for the majority, nobody taking Magic out. It was just like 2 people who I heard say that. But for the majority of people, nobody done said. I think I done heard one person possibly, I think he said, that they would take out Tim Duncan. Everybody else don't even bring it up. Like, Tim Duncan is just a lock for, and that's just wild to me. That's wild. I don't like it. But what I don't like more than that is, like I said, all these motherfuckers, oh, who we gonna take out, who gonna, bruh. Just if you doing your job and analyzing the game, bruh, it ain't that hard, bruh. You ain't about to leave Steph Curry out of a top 10 list, though. That motherfucker's resume is top 5 worthy to keep it a band with you. To keep it a band with you. But his problems with Nick Wright, I agree so much. Like I said, when you look at Nick Wright, and it's funny because I didn't even know who Nick Wright was either until like 2 years ago. And when you start to look at Nick Wright and shit, and you really, and it don't take long to really see the type of motherfucker he is. That's what's wild. It took me like 1 or 2 videos to see the type of motherfucker he was. To hear how you just listen to him talk, bruh. For one, I don't like that he loved trying to dictate and talk about and judge people's legacies and shit like that. Well, not really judge, but try to like put his, like, if I say it, it's gotta be right. Like, you know, he do a lot of self-proclaiming of being great and shit like that, and that's just weird to me. But hey, this is the same motherfucker that's gonna try to convince you that LeBron is the greatest of all time and never gonna. It's no shot at Bron. But the route that he go to do these type things, bro. When you listen to Nick Wright, bro, just go listen to Nick Wright and look at some of his things. The man literally says things that he know is wild. Like, he knows it's wild and it's untrue. But he using it to so he could use it in the future to defend LeBron James. Like, everything he say is a build up to either defend LeBron James or shit on somebody else. So he'll give some weird praise or unnecessary what word I'm looking for, unearned praise to somebody just so he can further down the line say, see, and I did it for this guy. So you know, when LeBron, like, it's always a setup for LeBron James, bro. And I'm like, okay, bro, this is ridiculous, because this is a dude who so very clearly is biased. He's not going to talk about these games from an unbiased position, because he so very clearly loves LeBron James to where he can't be unbiased about it. And that's my thing, because you can't just say, oh, well, you know, he liked LeBron James, so that's what, bruh. Shannon Sharp liked LeBron James. He a LeBron James super fan. He is still very much unbiased. Now, I don't agree with how he feel about the GOAT conversation, but that's his opinion on the GOAT thing. He don't use his opinion and his bias and his love for LeBron cloud him analyzing games. Now, I don't agree with all his takes, and I don't think he got some of the greatest takes on it, but he ain't saying outlandish, stupid, biased shit at all times. Yes, obviously he gonna have a lot of praise for LeBron when LeBron do something great, but when LeBron play bad, he say it. He don't sugarcoat it. He don't try to sell you some bullshit like Nick Wright consistently get on TV and do. He don't try to say one thing to set up a LeBron praise in the future. He don't do that. He legit with his praise and critiques. This dude Nick Wright's just a fucking bozo, bruh. And his thing when he was talking about Dray when he was addressing Kendrick Perkins, that shit was hilarious. The motherfucker said, you a player, bruh. Act like it. That man said, I ain't never seen nobody turn from an enforcer to a coon like that, bruh. I've been listening to Kendrick Perkins, and obviously, I done spoke about Kendrick Perkins on the show. I'm pretty sure my feelings on how I feel about him is very well known if you listen to the show. But I've been trying to sit down and think about why do I? Is it unfair how I feel about Kendrick Perkins because I'm a Warrior and Steph Curry fan? But I'm like, no, bruh, because I can leave my biasness out of thing, because I didn't even have the Warriors winning the championship this year. I had the fucking Phoenix Suns going to the championship and winning, but with new information and what I analyzed and watching these games, my opinion completely changed. I had the Golden State Warriors winning the championship. But when you look at who was I talking about? Kendrick Perkins. My thing with Kendrick Perkins is, for one, he was very clearly biased. So that's my first thing. But then I don't really care that Kendrick Perkins poke out his chest. Like, it is kind of irritating that he be trying to bully these motherfuckers. But I don't care about that too much. My thing is, you say some of the stupidest shit, got some of the stupidest fucking takes. And when somebody call you out on them dumbass takes, you like to poke your chest out, get real aggressive, get a frown on your face, and try to scare a motherfucker. But let somebody else say something that you think is a bad take, you gonna go in on them. I mean, you could go watch him on some of these shows just argue back and forth with people on how they feel about their takes, and then let somebody feel a way about his take, he just get oh man, he offended. And that's just wild to me. Because it'd be one thing if Kendrick Perkins and the reason I said I feel like I don't care as much about him poking his chest out is because, let's say Scott Van Pelt got irritated at people disagreeing with his takes, and he poked his chest out about it. I wouldn't be mad at that because Scott Van Pelt have great takes. I would understand somebody like Scott Van Pelt getting pissed off, or Tim Legler getting pissed off. Hell, I understand that when Stephen A. get pissed off, because Stephen A. for the most part have a lot of great takes when it comes to basketball. But so, I get that, and I would understand those dudes poking their chests out. This dude, Kendrick Perkins, do not have great takes. And he still love to poke it. He don't want to be wrong. He get offended when he wrong. I'm like, bro, you the one who made the decision to be wrong. You the one who said all that goofy shit leading up to said thing. If you was judging and analyzing the game from an unbiased point of view, it wouldn't hurt as bad. I mean, motherfucker, you could have still made your pick and said, I'm going to ride with my squad, the Celtics. But you still could have been unbiased in your breakdowns. Your breakdowns was just completely biased, bro. That's why when you finally admitted it, the panel was like, thank you. At least you finally admitted it. And Vince was like, about time. Because, bruh, the fans ain't the only ones who know that your ass be on there being biased. And then some of his harsh critiques. Now, I don't even care about him critiquing players. Like I said, for the most part, Kendrick Perkins is not getting on there disrespecting athletes blatantly like Skip Bayless. Even Nick Wright do that shit where he just go overboard with the critique and the criticism of guys, bro. And it turned from these motherfuckers critiquing the dudes and criticizing them to them just thinking they having their own little stand-up sketch comedy club show and trying to roast dudes. I'm like, alright, bro. That's why it was so funny when Draymond said, I'm never coming on your show, and I doubt that you'll be able to come on mine because your resume don't fit the criteria of what the dudes on the show come on have. And that was funny to me because this motherfucker Skip love to try to call out people's resume and what they do and what they haven't done. But my man, your resume ain't good enough to come on the Draymond Green show, my boy. You ain't got the type of credentials to come on this show, my guy. Nah, Dray say, you ain't got that resume, brother. Like, I know what you think you is. You talk like you a big dog, but I'm looking at your resume, and I'm looking at the motherfuckers that's done been on this show, and the only thing ain't adding up is you. That resume you presenting to me ain't looking like much of nothing. Like, I love that shot. I can't wait to Skip bitch ass respond tomorrow, because I know he gonna say a bunch of stupid shit. And it's funny because Shannon gonna probably have to try to find a way to defend him. And what I love the most about Dray, I love that Draymond didn't waste his time praising nobody, because he could have. And I'm pretty sure Draymond eventually will praise a lot of the people out there who doing a great job. Not just people who pick the Warriors to win, but people who actually out there analyzing the game. Like, he praised J.J. Redick, Pat Bev. But I'm talking about other analysts. But I just love that he spent all that time going at motherfucker. I love it. 4-time champ in the building. You can do things like that. Shit, I even like that he called out Kendrick Perkins. Was like, bruh, you was not that good of a player, bruh. You talk like you can't really talk about. And I said this a couple weeks ago. I was like, bruh, Kendrick Perkins might have been on a championship team, but that motherfucker never played a key role in that championship. Like, that motherfucker can't talk to you the way a KG, a Ray Allen, a Rajon Rondo, or Paul Pierce can talk to you about what it meant. Even some of those key role players can talk more about what it took to win that than Kendrick Perkins could. And that's no disrespect to Kendrick Perkins, but that's the reality of it all. And the way he go at Draymond as if Draymond is a scrub or something, I don't like that. And I also don't like Nick Wright doing that shit, bro. That's why I'm saying I like how he called out them credentials on Skip Bayless. He should have did that shit with Nick Wright, bro. Because these motherfuckers love to talk about their journalism degree and all that bullshit. Bro, you stack your resume up to these motherfucking players' resumes, bro. A Draymond Green resume, bro. You ain't got no 4-chip type achievement on your resume. Because if you want to say you got this big job at thing, that's the equivalent of them motherfuckers getting signed to the league. If you want to say you got a 1 in a million type of job, cool. They got a 1 in a trillion type of job. Your best take is nowhere near. Your best day at the job is nowhere near winning a championship, which is the best day at the job for them, bro. Like, I talked about this shit a couple weeks ago when he talked about a story where he basically compared himself to Draymond, and it made me realize that this motherfucker, one of the reasons he is as goofy as he is, like Draymond said, we know what Skip Bayless is a clown. Now we know that motherfucker Nick Wright is right beside him with the big ass red nose. Because I told you a couple months ago when he had made, or a couple weeks ago when he had made that comparison, I was like, this motherfucker really see himself on the same level as a Draymond Green. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way as, oh, you beneath him and that. Like, no, the things that you have accomplished in your life, you see as greater than or equivalent to Draymond Green on that type of level he got to the NBA, which is just wild to me. Because, like, you couldn't tell me that put Nick Wright's resume up against some of the greatest doctors in the world. You laugh. But this motherfucker think him getting on TV and talking about the motherfuckers who actually go out there and play the ball is anywhere near the achievements of the motherfuckers who do it. It's just, these motherfuckers have super inflated egos, man. It's no wonder they can get on TV and say some of this horse shit, and like Draymond said, think that they could just let it go. Like nobody gonna bring it up again. They could just say horse shit and keep it moving. Say wild shit and keep it moving. You could say Dallas in 5 and keep it moving. Like, what the fuck kind of prediction is that? Dallas in 5? The way Draymond was shocked about the 80-20 shit for the Warriors losing 80% and 20% chance to win the finals, that's how I feel about the way he was shocked about that. Is how I was shocked when motherfucker talking about some Dallas in 6. What? Like, come on, son. That's what I'm saying, and that's the type of motherfucker they put on TV and get paid great money to say stupid shit like that. The sports media is at a point now where it's not even about analyzing and breaking down games for most of these motherfuckers no more. It's who can say the wildest shit, who can hate the hardest. Like, it's absolutely insane, bruh. It's insane. No integrity, bruh. No integrity in the game no more, bruh. They don't have to actually be good at this shit no more, man. Like, Jesus Christ. I hate it. My name's amazing. I was thinking I'm someone you should know. It ain't a check, can't make crazy, baby. True be told. Now, why did I basically sound like mute the word bitch when I done said it multiple times probably. But when I just rapped that just now, I muted the word bitch. I'm laying back taking in this area. I don't know, but we on break again. We hitting the home run stretch though, man. Don't worry. It's been a good show. It's been a good show. I really like the video that I just released. Y'all gotta keep checking that out. Share the videos and stuff, man. I really appreciate it. Like the video if you want to. If you don't, cool. I ain't tripping on it. Hey, this was really fun. We hope you liked it too. Seems like we've just begun when suddenly we're through. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. And now it's time to go. But hey, I say, but that's okay. 'Cause we'll see you very soon, I know. Very soon, I know. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. Goodbye, it's tomorrow, just not today. The moon, the bear, and the big blue house will be waiting for you to come and play. To come and play. Y'all, I hope I don't get demonetized for that. Goodbye now. Y'all don't remember that Bear in the Big Blue House, bro. That show was a banger. I used to love that shit. And I used to love that goodbye song. When I get buried, play that shit at my funeral. I'm so sick of farewells and RIPs. In the trenches yelling gang, gang, mob ties what I bleed. Don't claim to be a hop, cause die from that disease. He gonna let that line blow with ease. Yo, that motherfucker, Polo G. I'm so happy my cousin put me onto that motherfucker like 2 summers ago, yo. Motherfucker makes good music. But we on the home run stretch of the show. So, to close out the show, basically, I want to address Draymond talking about the free agency thing, about how he don't think it's fair that teams who have to pay the same type of tax penalty as teams who basically... So, it's not fair that the Warriors have to pay a certain type of tax on re-signing motherfuckers like Looney, him, Clay, Steph, Poole, because they were drafted. And that's what you want as a NBA. You want teams to draft players, have those players develop properly, and have them grow within the organization in that city and stay with that team. That's what you want. However, it's wild that they could be penalized the same way they would if they signed a KD or Otto Porter or another team that go out there and sign 2 or 3 superstars. You shouldn't pay the same type of tax on those type of signings as you would for re-signing dudes that you drafted and developed. I agree with him 1,000% on that. And I really do think when the next CBA meeting or whenever that shit come up that they can address this, they got to figure something out with that. Because I don't think the Warriors should take a same type of penalty. Like, one of his examples was perfect. Because people hear the Warriors and they instantly start hating. Look at OKC. If all of the draft picks that OKC, or just say half of them, say 3 of them. If 3 of those draft picks turn out to be great players, they'll probably end up maxing out 2 of them and have to let 1 of them walk. That's why they let Harden walk, because they didn't want to go over the luxury tax or didn't want to pay a couple extra million to keep him. Think about that. Now, some of that got to do with owners just being, greedy or not just wanting to pay extra money to build an actual title contender. But however, like I said, let's say 2, 3, 4 of them dudes turn out. It's got to be more than 2. Let's say 3, 4 of them dudes turn out to be great. You got multiple dudes in that draft that turn out to be great role players and pieces for the team. 2, 3 of them dudes might end up maxing themselves out of that team because the luxury tax and the cap penalties is gonna fuck up the team, even though they drafted those dudes. So I do think the NBA got to do something about that. That's ridiculous to me. And you want to know what's wild? You would never think about shit like this if it wasn't for great teams like Golden State. And so I don't think the Golden State should be penalized for it. I don't think no team should be penalized. Like, it's, to me, it should be some type of thing in these contracts and things so that teams take less of a hit, basically, when you re-sign. I already know you can go over the luxury tax or a certain level in deep into it to re-sign players that you drafted whose bird rights and shit you own. But it should be even more protection and stuff like that. Because like I said, if I have a company, if I own the NFL, if I was the owner of the NFL and I have all these different teams and entities, I want these teams to be drafting players, because that's what the fucking draft is for, to draft players and develop them. If we only care about the top 3 dudes in the draft, why the fuck do we have a draft past the first top couple guys? Those other dudes is being drafted, you praying that teams find ways to utilize and exhibit and show off how good those dudes can be. You pray that you find a team that can turn a Draymond Green, who was a second round pick, into a stud like that. Like, or Gary Payton II, who was tossed around the league, nobody wanted him. You pray a team like Golden State can find a way to make him a better player. Like, that's what you want. You want your players to become great, but the penalty for these dudes having to, like, I guess it's because you don't see teams success on the level of a Golden State throughout the draft. Because they hit on Jordan Poole, they hit on Steph, they hit on Clay, they hit on Dray. Like, they done hit on so many motherfuckers. They hit on Loon. They possibly hit on Wiseman. Who knows at this point? But, like, I do think it's, and I don't want to sound like I'm being biased or nothing like that, but I just feel like, and I understand ultimately, like, what could you do? Because I just think, like, ultimately people won't listen to the conversation because they'll hear Golden State and they'll instantly just not care, because people hate success. And Golden State, they didn't think this motherfucking team was going to get back here. So now that this team done got back and they letting they shit talk fly and they kept the receipts, yeah, people hate that. But with that, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. We will be back possibly tomorrow night. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. Tell somebody to have a dope fucking day. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy, scoop her up like I'm raking or something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber, you out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.
Jams, baby! What are they gonna say now? What are they gonna say now?